our hands together for Mr. Paul as he comes us to talk to us.
The chairman, Adamu Yola, Gombe South, is the edition. Other coaches or players here, good evening. You know, when she said she's going to give me 4 minutes to talk on, the effect on drug abuse, I was just, I was initially, when I walked in, I was, chatting with the chairman. I said maybe they will give me 3 hours to talk. So now that I have prepared, I don't know how 4 minutes is going to, but we are all adults. We know the effects of drug abuse on our individual lives, on our performance, and in general, I'm going to give you the summary. I will try to summarize the whole thing. My name is Paul Kwaghe. I don't know whether we have Yola. I'm from Adamu State, and our state capital is Yola. So I don't know, maybe after the whole program, I and the chairman of the committee are going to sit down and, we'll look into it. Thank you very much. Generally, people that do sport, they don't usually indulge in drug. That's the general thing. Because, when you use drug, it will definitely have effect on your performance. When you play for 45 minutes and when you use drug, you're definitely going to spend, in the next 10 minutes, you'll be tired. The available drugs here, I know all of you watch all these international players, but most of the drugs they abuse, cocaine, ephedrine, and other high, grade A drugs, we hardly get it here. And the summary is you can't even afford it. A pitch of cocaine that will cost 200,000 naira, you can't take it. But the most available drugs here in Gombe, maybe it's tramadol and so I'm going to just give you a summary. Sorry, all of you understand English. So I don't know how I will be putting it, at least for the meantime. I'll try and summarize it. One of the things that will affect your performance. How many of you want to win this cup? How many? Then I think the committee need to liaise. Most of the players are not here. That's why, when I walked in, I thought it's going to be the talk for the whole players. But generally, all the representatives of the team, you guys should, check your boys. But I don't just believe, the sport people do drugs. That's my own personal, mentality. Thank you very much. So, if you want to succeed, don't do drugs. It's going to affect your performance. It will give you performance decline. Drugs can impair a footballer's physical and mental abilities, leading to a decline in performance. They may experience decreased endurance, coordination, speed, strength, and which can greatly impact their gameplay and overall contribution to the team. The second one is increased risk of injury. When you take drugs, your level of thinking, if your player is close to you or your partner, you'll be passing the ball to your opponent. Instead of passing the ball to your team, you end up passing the ball to the opponent. And that's one of the effects of drugs. It will impair your sight. You'll be thinking 1 + 1 will not give you 2. You'll be thinking 1 + 1 is 10. That's one of the effects of drug abuse. You will end up, is it on goal? You will end up scoring yourself. So, suspension from competition. Most people that do drugs internationally and locally, you all watch the leagues, they usually get suspension. They can even ban you from playing for years, and it will have effect on your career, on your family. When you do drugs, You know, you guys are starting very well. You don't know whether some of you will go to the higher team to play in the future. But you know, there are legal consequences to using drugs. You know, when you use drug, your team can only give you suspension and ban you. But in some developed countries where they take drug seriously, you even go to jail. You even go to jail for using performance enhancement substance. So I'll talk about damage to reputation. As a player, if you're using drug, you're using tramadol, before you go into the match, they will go behind, try to go and smoke 1 wrap or 2 wrap of cannabis sativa. You go, sai ka bi gefe kafin coach ya zo bari ka wannan din ka samu ka yi gudu sosai kaman doki. Kai doki ne? Ko kuma ka je ka sha Exol, yar fara maganin da ake bawa doki yana tsakuwa. During this, you know, this dopa, you know, they usually is meant for horses. You know, when they take Exol, you know, you'll be seeing, he'll be forming his mouth. White thing will be coming out of horse's mouth. He'll be running, and in a short time he will get tired. And you know, when you do drugs, when you abuse drugs, one day you can ko yana shan tramol, mutane a community ba su gan darajan ci ba. Za a dinga ce kullum aka ce wannan mashayin. Ka gane? In kana wucewa za a ce, ko ka sha kwallo za a ce wannan dan wiwi nan ne ya sha kwallo. Ko ba haka ba? Za a ce ai wannan dama ya sha wiwi ne, so sai mu daina, yana bata suna. So mental health issues. Substance abuse has strong link to mental health problems such as depression, anxiety, addiction. This can negatively impact a footballer's overall performance and ability to cope with the pressures of sport. This place is literally saying, you know, when you do drugs, it will go to certain states that you will be mentally derailed. Zaka zama mawakaci, zaka fara tsinna leda a bola. Akwai wani mawakacin da ina ganin sa har ina zuwa jogging zuwa wani lokaci zan je triact da kaltun manjan dawo. Kullum san gansa yana tsinna leda sai ta rubutu akai. Yana tarawa akwai bayan wancan gadan zaka ga you see write-ups. You know, when I first came to Kaltungo some 2 years ago, I used to wonder who usually write. You just be picking paper on the floor, be writing. You know, when you see the paper, he will write nonsense on it. At times I usually pick it to see what is this man writing. You know, when he writes, he will find stone. So my first week in Kaltungo was very terrible. It's now that I realize that he will be putting paper and be writing, and you know, is very terrible thing. Akwai da yake so zama wakata nan, to a bar shan tramol da wiwi. Financial consequences. Drug abuse can drain a footballer's finances due to excessive spending on drugs. Although this place, you know, I'm generally talking about football because I wanted the near future to see at least 50% of you here playing in the international team. And nobody is saying amen. So you need to put this into consideration. Footballers really get money, but when you do drugs, the money will, you know, drugs, you know, you end up spending your whole earnings on it. Cardiovascular health. Some drugs, including stimulants like amphetamine and cocaine. Generally, you know, when you do drugs and you are into sport, it will really affect your heart. Your performance will drop. At the end of the day, they will be wondering, this guy has been a footballer for a very long time. He's supposed to live healthy. One of the people that live healthy are people that do sport. But where the case is the reverse, you know, when you do drugs, it affects your health. And at the end of the day, it's going to affect your general performance in life. So I want to thank you for listening and just watching out my time for the summary. Wish you all the best and have a wonderful session. Thank you very much.